Alright, here's my problem. I gotta get this bottom of this belt housing over that exhaust and pushed forward at least 2 inches. Now, the challenge comes in. Oh dang it, my battery's dead. Or about dead. Might as well be. Challenge comes in is I gotta get this up in there without crushing that. That's all your electronic wires. And without crushing that, that's your fuel lines. Now I can smash down on that on those wires right there just a little bit, but that's quite a bit to go right there. I don't know if it'll do it. Now I've got a backup plan. See, we were trying to level this thing up this morning to get it, and I do mean this morning, I was at it all night. But I've got a backup plan. I'll probably be at it late again tonight, but there's my backup plan. And that's probably the smartest way to go. But I've never been accused of being the smartest person either, so see if we can work it out like this. If not, we'll back up and punt with the transmission jack. But that means I'll be laying, like Michael was just saying, I'll be laying on my back on the floor trying to muscle this stupid thing in. I'm not looking forward to any of this. Anyway, let me get at it. Not getting done like this. See that? Tried and tried doing it Michael's way with the cart and the wood for about another hour and a half. Then I put it on that. 20 minutes, it's installed. I don't have it bolted up, but it's in there and bolted to the engine. I've got to put 4 more bolts in it and put all the linkage on it, the drive shaft, the cross member, all those bolts. But it's in there. 20 minutes. I fought for probably 3 hours this morning and an hour and a half this evening to try and put it in there off of the cart the way Michael was talking about. I just couldn't get it in there. It had to tilt forward and then back a couple of times to get in there where it was lined up the way it was supposed to be. And you just can't do that sitting on blocks on a stable cart that doesn't give you any kind of little teetering ability. Matter of fact, you see how scratched up it is now? That's from sliding around on the transmission jack. That's from where I set it on the transmission jack and it rolled right back off. But most of that's just from sliding back and forth trying to get lined up. But it's in there. Now I gotta throw the rest of the bolts on this sucker. And then once I get it all back together and everything, I'm gonna take it and steam clean the whole stupid thing. What a mess. Ruh-roh. That's a problem. Dang it. That's the shifter cable. Of course, it's not all the way in there yet either, so that may change that dimension. And if not, I can just get this piece off my other transmission outside still, so not a huge problem. Oh yeah, it's gonna change once it's up in there, right? Duh. Okay, I'm freaking out over nothing. See, I measured this thing last night because Michael got me paranoid about it. And I've seen and heard that that these were the same. They're identical. Both this one, the S10, all of them. The only difference is some of these have a deep pan, some of them have a shallow pan. Now that was my understanding. Now I pulled this one out of the Suburban last night and pulled the one out of this truck last night. The only difference I saw was this one says 4L6031, I think it is, on the side of it. And the one out of my Tahoe, the one that came out of this truck, said 4L6059. I don't know what the difference or the significance in those numbers are. Maybe if any of you are GM mechanics, you can tell me the difference, but as far as the bolt pattern, all the bolts lined up the same. The exact shaft and overall length is exactly the same. The splines line up for the drive shaft. The bolts line up for the torque converter, everything. Even this little electronic jewel here is the same. So I don't know what in the world is actually different and why there's different numbers on them. Like I said, the only difference I knew of was some have the deeper pan, some have the shallower pan. And I'm not sure what the difference is in the two, or if it makes any difference driving down the road, or what the situation is. But I got this one in here, and once we plug everything up and fill the sucker up with fluid again, we'll see if there's still an issue. I'm hoping not. I can't do this again. It's just, I don't know. But anyway, that's all for now. I'll let you know when we're done. Okay, so got everything reinstalled, put the dust plate on, starters back in, all the O2 sensors are all hooked up, transmission gearing is all linked up except for the shifter cable, and that's just because it won't reach until the transmission's setting back up on its mounts right there, and that has to go in that hole. Now the fun part is that I've got to bang that cross member right there back up into place. I've also got to lift the back of the transmission up once I get it close, to where it'll just slide right under there. But yeah, that's the fun stuff. That's all I got left. That, putting the drive shaft in, and I gotta put the transmission dipstick back in. I haven't done that yet either. And hook up the battery, top it off with fluid, and away we go. Should be, oh, I gotta put that little dust cover right there back on too. Don't want things getting up in there and getting caught up in the transmission. Matter of fact, cleaned it off. And there we have it. Just snap right back in there. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Yeah. Alright, there's another tattletale that it's time for oil change too. Yeah, Walmart's gonna get another, what, 30 bucks for me, or from me, so I can change the oil. About what Mobile One costs. Yeah, that's what Mobile Run costs. But anyway, real close. And I see I'm gonna have to get somebody to do a little better job on my Flowmaster than I did, because the welds that I put on there are just too thin and they're starting to rust apart. So I have to get somebody, maybe Mr. MacGyver here, see if he can throw me some thicker welds on there where I don't have to worry about them busting off. Don't want to lose my Flowmaster. Always something. And when I'm done with this, then I get to have the fun with the Saab, because we still got to put a starter on it. Yay. But at least I'm getting at everything now finally. Anyway, here we go. Well, swapped out the transmission. Thing shifts out just fine. Shifts good from first to second, or first to reverse and back. But that wasn't the problem. I figured when it wouldn't go that the transmission tossed its cookies, and the torque converter is just trashed in that other transmission. Guess what's the culprit again? I will no longer buy these hunk of crap aftermarket distributors. They're junk. They strip out easy as I don't know what. And this is not the first time they've left me sitting. The one on the Suburban has never been changed. And guess what I'm going to get? The only problem is I can put it in, line it up on top dead center, and Michael's got his little monster Autel machine that can line everything up right and make it run smooth again. But it's after 10 o'clock. He's in bed. I wondered about that. Brand new cap and rotor. Cap's not hurt at all. But it wasn't firing either. Or it was firing, it was just firing all messed up. Like it was completely way out of sync or whatever you want to call it. So I did all that work, and that's the culprit right there. Which I've been getting a number, well, it didn't even give me a number, it just says electronic ignition misfire. So I've been expecting something to go, but I didn't expect that to be it, because it was running smooth and it just kind of hiccuped and said, nope, no more. Like I said, when it happened, it sounded like it jumped timing, and I hope to God that's not what it actually did, because I'll never get this thing lined back up right if that's what happened. We'll see though. Until then, bye for now. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day. Now this is how close I got it to running right without any tune-up or anything. Just putting the distributor out of the Suburban in it. I was able to go down the street at least 55 miles an hour last night and not be a problem. Thing is, I want to make sure that this is right, so I've come over here to have Michael put his Autel on this thing and get it to where it's perfect. Yeah, my anti-lock's off and on because I need to replace the brakes too. Watch this. It only crunched as hard as it did like that because I'm on a hill. Watch. Drive. Reverse. You can't even feel it shifting. Just eases into it. I haven't had one do that for a while. And I believe, and my neighbor kind of agrees with me, I may have just gotten lucky with putting that distributor in. May have just gotten lucky that I dropped it down in exactly where I did when I did. Honestly, I've not had this thing shift this smooth in a long while now. Yeah. Got it up to 30 in his driveway. I didn't spin the tires because I didn't want to tear up his driveway. If I go fast across it and tear up my truck, that's one thing. But I wasn't gonna tear up his yard while I was doing it. Nice. Well, it hasn't shifted out like that in a long time. I'm a happy camper again. I gotta check the fluid while I'm up here at the. I'm going to get some gas because, yeah, a little on the lacking side in the gas department. It's right below a quarter of a tank, and I don't like that so good. So, and yeah, this thing's a lot quieter now. Yeah, I'm gonna need brakes. I can hear them grinding, or not grinding, but grunting. They don't want to stop this big old beast. Yeah. Well, Michael got to see it firsthand when he come to tow me home. Now, that's a 4,000-pound winch that's on my trailer, and this was a rolling load. It's not like it had flat tires or anything. It was a load that should have rolled with just a couple 100 pounds worth of pull. The problem is, we ground that winch almost to a complete stop with this thing. And he said, that's a 4,000-pound winch. I said, yeah, it's over an 8,000-pound truck. No way. I'm like, oh yeah. I told you before. When I went into the foundry, and it's only because I got all my tools in here. I'm getting ready to remedy that. I'm gonna go sort through all the toolboxes in the back, and because I've got some duplicate sets of tools. So what I think I'm gonna do is take all my duplicates out and just have one full set of tools in here, and that's them up there. Then I won't have to worry about anything. Make everything a little lighter, give me better gas mileage. Of course, I need to get a shed dropped off at the house, and that's part of the reason I'm wanting this thing to be 100%, so it'll keep going for me for a while and not give me problems. And I can afford to buy another shed instead of having to buy another car. I got a yard full of cars, well, trucks. Not really much of one for a car. I like my trucks. And this is, see, as far as trucks go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 there, soon to be 5. Because as soon as I finish stripping the Suburban down, it's gonna go bye-bye. And it won't be long, because I won't have something sitting there keeping my trailer all tied up. So pretty soon it's all gonna start thinning out. And the bad thing is the Suburban still runs. Well, it wouldn't right now because I took the distributor out of it, but it's a running motor and it ran good. The only problem we had was the starter would engage and disengage, depending. It had problems starting, basically. One minute you'd hear ring, like the old Chrysler starter, hit the key and ring, and nothing. And then you hit it again and then turn the motor over and start up. It hit and miss like that a few times. Come on, people. Act like it's rush hour or something, for Pete's sake. Of course it kind of is. 5 o'clock. But anyway, I'm gonna have Michael and his wife had to run to Kentucky to get some stuff for their house, some underlayment or whatever for on the roof, because they're putting actual metal roof on, which is the smartest thing I've heard. And I'm just trying to make it low maintenance, because like me, he's getting old and doesn't want to be having to fool with a roof. Or if it does, it's just one whole sheet that he can go up there and replace instead of pieces of shingle. Anyway, I'm gonna shut this down for right now. I gotta get some go juice in here and get that back up to the F. Yeah, it's about time to get these decals replaced too. See how it's all peeling and cracking and drying off. Of course, I've had them for several years. But yeah, it's time. Yeah, people looking at me funny because I was videoing my decals on my truck here. Then they started hanging around, and I don't know if they were hanging around because they didn't want to be on video or hanging around because they did. So, anyway, you can see there she's full. Gauge right there under my blinking, you need to fasten your seatbelt light, the one I always ignore. And I don't want to hear any crap. I've heard people giving me fits about that for probably 10 years now. And like I've told everybody before, had a friend almost get decapitated by his seatbelt. That's not happening. Anyway, this oh dang it, I didn't check my fluid. It's alright, I can check it at the house. I just gotta remember to do it this time. Because I heard a little thump. It might not have been anything, but I want to be 100% sure, because this has got to get me back and forth to Nashville several days a week now until they decide to let us come back home, if they ever do. We don't know that they're actually going to let us come back home. That's just something we're kind of hoping for, because all we were told to get us back in the office was come back in so we can get a baseline of what you do at home compared to what you do in the office. Yep, somebody got him a rabbit. Big old Joker 2's laying boat stretched out in the road back there. Anyway, check the fluid when we get home to make sure at least that's okay. And then when my neighbor gets back from when Mr. MacGyver gets his butt back from Kentucky, I'll come over and have him set the, I think he said it's the dwell on this that has to be set. And he was trying to tell me how to do it, but I'm kind of leery of messing with his expensive little toy there, that Autel machine. And it's basically like a one of those OBD2 code readers on steroids, because it does everything. Of course, for the $1,000 he paid for it, it ought to. But anyway, yeah, my daughter's out and she don't like being on video, so she got my boy out. What a dumb dog. Walked right up to the front of my truck. Anyway, let me get off here so I don't hit my dumb dog. Look at him. Idiot.